I think I hate thrifting. Someone had to say it. Welcome to my channel. My name is Morgan. Today, I just want to complain. Most of my videos are just me complaining about little tiny problems I have. And today, it's thrifting. So I'm going to talk about it while I hike up this hill and try not to lose my breath. But before I get into it, I want to clarify something. In no way am I saying I hate thrifting, therefore we should all buy brand new items. That's not my point. Just want to be very clear. I understand the great impact thrifting has. I understand that. Okay. I'm not trying to diminish thrifting whatsoever. I think if you love thrifting, please go thrifting instead of buying stuff. But for me, I'll get into why it doesn't work. My number one complaint about thrifting is the amount of time it takes, as someone that loves clothing, to find the piece exactly what I'm looking for. When I know it is right online, ready for me to buy it, it can take years to find that one piece that you've been searching for and have it be thrifted and a good price. And the amount of time it takes for me to go to a thrift store, drive to a thrift store, look through all the racks, maybe find one piece that is still in great condition that I really know I'll wear, because I used to thrift all the time in college. I used to do it all the time. Did it just to consume more and have more in my closet and have more outfits that felt new. But now almost all those pieces are gone. Being very selective at the thrift store because you know what you want and you're not going to settle. I go into thrift stores all the time and I never find a single thing I want. All of it is not for me. And if I do find something I want, it's not in my size. And I have a rule that I'm not allowed to buy anything that's not in my size, because I think fit is everything when it comes to clothing. I think a lot of thrifted looking outfits look thrifted because nothing fits, because they were settling. And I don't want to settle. I sound like a brat, but I don't think you should have to settle. But that just means you need at least 2 years before you find the item you want. Maybe that's a good thing, because then by 2 years down, you'll know if you really wanted it or not. It's so frustrating to just constantly be searching for something and never find it. To go into a thrift store and be like, I hate everything in here. I've searched the whole building. I don't want any of it. Not a single thing. Which brings me to my next point. I don't have a thrifty aesthetic or style. Sure, right now I am wearing 2 thrifted pieces, this scarf and my boots, but the whole thing, I don't think I serve the thrifted look, and I don't want to, which makes it extra hard. Because sure, if you have a thrifty aesthetic, I think you're more likely to find things at the thrift store that match your style, because that is your style. For other people with similar issues, it's a lot harder for us, because we need to find pieces that we can incorporate into our wardrobe that will match. And these were both thrifted online, which thrifting online to me is much easier because I live pretty much in the woods. I can easily search for what I want and sometimes find it. Sometimes. I'm more likely to find the things that I want online than in store, especially. Thought someone was behind me. I don't live in New York or LA. If I did, I would be hitting up every thrift store, every vintage store all the time, the flea markets. They have it so much easier in the big cities. The big city. The closest city to me is Reno, Nevada. Reno, Nevada. The thrift stores there, sometimes, every once in a while, have some good stuff. But it is so hard to find that good stuff. And if you go to Reno, if you've never been to Reno, let me describe how people dress. Not good. Nobody really cares about style and clothing in Reno. The best store we have really is Boot Barn, I've found. Boot Barn is the only store that has good quality and cute stuff. The people that encourage thrifting, I think, tend to forget how bad it is out here in the country. It's bad, okay? We don't have the accessibility you do to cute clothing. I understand that thrifting is an activity. It's something to do with friends. And that's what makes it fun. And you might find something, you might not. Either way, you spent the day with friends. My friends do not like to thrift. I have one friend that likes to thrift. My other friends didn't grow up with the privilege of seeing the thrift store as a good place. To them, it's not a happy place. I understand to the point that I can. And for that reason, I do not bring them along thrifting because I know they hate it. So my one friend and I will go thrifting. But other than that, I mostly have to go alone, which makes it less of a fun little activity and more of a, I'm looking for things. I'm shopping for pieces, not just hanging out by myself. The next thing that bugs me is that they're not that much cheaper when you're buying good quality pieces. The prices just aren't that good. Maybe they used to be, but now, if I find a really nice jacket or shoes, which is rare to come by to begin with, they set that price up high. A lot of stuff from Shein are now at the thrift store. So you're still paying a pretty good price for well-made pieces, if you can even find any at the thrift. I rarely ever do. And then online, a lot of sellers don't give that good of a deal. Like, they price the item at what it's worth, and I don't blame them for doing that. I'm just saying, you're not finding like the best deals by thrifting. Just wanted to point that out. Whenever I think about thrifting, especially online, it's just as much money as if I were to buy things brand new, most of the time. I actually made a list of all the reasons I don't like thrifting on my phone, so I'm checking it right now. Oh, okay. So after all of these critiques, I still do like online thrifting. I feel better buying thrifted pieces rather than new. A lot of times with thrifting online, you can't always return the piece if it doesn't work out. If it doesn't fit the way you want it to, if it's itchy or just not what you were expecting, it's hard to return it. Sometimes you just can't. So that money is gone and you have a piece in your closet now that you don't want. And that to me is very frustrating. Sometimes I just don't want to risk it. And I would rather just buy something new that I know I can return. Because a lot of the times when I buy stuff brand new, I do return a good amount. If something comes in the mail and I bought it brand new and I'm not feeling it, I will return it. I've learned many times, if it's not exactly what I want, return it because I won't wear it. If it is what I want, I'll know the moment I get it. So when I'm thrifting online and something comes in the mail and I don't like it and I know I don't like it, or it's just not exactly what I wanted, I can't return it. And then I just end up wanting the original piece I wanted that was brand new on a website, and I end up just buying that. So then I have two jackets that I spent money on instead of just buying the brand new one that I originally wanted. And my final, last critique of thrift stores and thrifting in general is that a lot of the clothes smell. I hate the smell of thrift stores, the way the clothing smells when you bring it back home. Some of the stuff, you have to get it dry cleaned. Like, I have this jacket from a thrift store that I love and adore. It's a Penny Lane coat with fur trim. It's the best piece of clothing I own. And it was only like $30 or $20 at the thrift store. Amazing deal, right? But it smelled like a thrift store, and I had to get it cleaned. Guess how much it cost to get it cleaned? $100 to get that jacket cleaned. $100. So in total, I spent $120 on a thrift store jacket. It was still worth it. That is my favorite piece of clothing in my closet. I'm just saying, I hate the smell of thrift stores and the clothing. Trying to clean leather or suede or fur is very difficult. Or you can just walk around smelling like a thrift store if you want. Sometimes stuff smells like cigarettes. Sometimes you leave the thrift store and your hands feel dirty from touching all the clothes. The solution there is just hand sanitizer, but I don't like the feeling. And it's just one of the reasons I don't like thrift stores. I'm not saying that stops me from going. I'm just saying it's something I don't like about them. Now let's conclude this video. Beautiful. Oh, there you are. What's the solution here? I like to end my videos now with, I guess, a solution to my problems. I will continue to thrift and try to thrift online, in person, try to enjoy it. But I also don't think you need to have a 100% thrifted closet to be a good person. I don't think anyone disagrees with me there. I really don't. I think it's okay to thrift really cool pieces and to also buy brand new pieces. And something I've learned recently about myself is I love clothing from small businesses. They just create the coolest stuff, and it's well made, and it's very unique. And once you find a company that you love, you kind of just want to stick with them and support them. And it doesn't feel as bad as buying from these major corporations that are constantly convincing us we need new things. But I'm not going to let the guilt of buying new pieces consume me. I think it's okay to buy brand new things. I think what's way more important is to really focus on the quality and whether you will actually wear the item and whether you actually love the item. So just give it some time. Let it sit in your wish list for a couple months. Keep mulling it over until you decide to make that decision. In this influencer era, it's so common to see influencers have 100% thrifted wardrobes that are perfectly curated, and their literal job is to buy things. They are professional shoppers. They have the time, the energy, the money to constantly be thrifting. Just keep that in mind. I was thinking the other day about all influencers and how they're professional shoppers. There's so many aesthetic videos on Instagram and TikTok of, outfits and home decor where everything is just perfectly aesthetic and curated. And I think it makes us all feel like we're not enough, that we're not doing enough, we're not buying enough. Our home isn't always perfect, and we don't have an expansive closet or a just beautiful home. I'm just here to remind you that that is not normal. It is their job. It is literally their job to buy things or to really be gifted things. So when you see those videos, just remember, this is not normal. This is not something to strive for. It's just not. Life isn't supposed to be aesthetic. It's supposed to be messy. You can strive for perfection as much as you want, but you will never, ever reach it. Even those influencers, nothing is ever perfect. Just throwing that out there. All right, well, I'm going to end this video. I'll meet you up there. I think that's all that I wanted to say and complain about. I know it's such a privilege to complain about anything. In no way do I want to spread hate on the internet. I think there's enough of that. Per usual, don't take anything I say too seriously, but I do want to complain sometimes. So thank you for letting me complain. I hope you enjoyed the views. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about me and my problems. So thank you so much for listening and watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Maybe. Love ya.